Difference between defense mechanism and coping mechanisms. Look at these pictures. Defense, coping. Look at this. Detail going on. Defense mechanism or unconscious psychological strategies the mind uses to protect a person from anxiety, conflict, or distressing thoughts and feelings. Coping mechanisms are conscious or intentional strategies people use to manage stress, regulate emotions, and deal with challenging situations. Difference between one consciousness defense mechanisms mostly unconscious, but coping mechanisms usually conscious and intentional. To primary function, defense mechanisms protects the ego self from anxiety or conflict. Coping manages or reduces stress and solving problems. 3. Reality orientation. Defense mechanisms often distorts or avoid reality, but coping mechanisms engage with the reality, though sometimes avoidance based. 4. Focus. Defense mechanism focuses on protecting self, esteem, and reducing internal conflict. Coping mechanisms focus on handling external stresses or emotions. 5. Adaptiveness. Defense mechanisms can be maladaptive if overused. Example denial. Coping mechanisms can be adaptive, healthy, or maladaptive, unhealthy. 6. Duration of effect. Defense mechanisms provide short-term relief but does not solve problems. But coping mechanisms can provide both short-term relief and long-term solutions. 7. Awareness of use. Defense mechanisms person often unaware they are using them. But coping mechanisms usually recognizes they are actively using a strategy. 8. Problem solving involvement. Defense mechanisms avoids or blocks dealing with the problem, but coping mechanisms seek to manage or directly solve the problem. 9. Examples. Defense mechanisms: denial, repression, projection, rationalization. But coping: talking to a friend, exercising, problem solving, relaxation. 10. Psychological level. Defense mechanisms operates at an unconscious psychological level, but coping mechanisms at a behavioral and conscious psychological level. 11. Outcome. Defense mechanisms preserves immediate emotional stability but then create long-term issues. Coping mechanisms helps adapt to stress, ideally leading to resilience and growth. In short, defense mechanism unconscious, protective, reality distorting, but coping mechanism conscious, stress management, reality engagement. Thank you. Have a nice day.